KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adai Tano program. Harley-Davidson of Guam. Visit our new showroom, now located on Route 8 in Mighty. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, after nearly a 2-day search, the 45-year-old crab hunter who went missing is found alive. Plus, a 5-year-old boy's death remains a mystery. His father shares his story with Carmen Terlahi, hoping to get answers. And Governor-elect Lulian Guerrero meets with President Donald Trump and other White House officials. Hafaday and good evening. A holiday miracle. 42 hours after he was reported missing, a local crab hunter, Michael Guerrero, was found alive and well. His family relieved after this week's extensive search for him down in Malolo. Warren St. Nicholas joined his family in Asiga, Malolo Friday morning. They've spent hours camped out waiting for rescuers to find any signs of 45-year-old Michael Guerrero. He was crab hunting in this area on Wednesday. By 4 o'clock that same day, he was reported missing. The search only taking a positive turn around 10 a.m. today. Guerrero was found alive.
Overwhelmed with happiness now that they found him. You know, and now we can enjoy Christmas, you know, instead of, the emotional downfall of falling apart, not finding him. Now we could make the season of joy and jolly.
First responders could be seen today slowly clearing the scene after getting word that Guerrero had been spotted.
It's great news for the family, especially around this Christmas time.
Guam Fire Department spokesperson Kevin Riley says Guerrero was slightly dehydrated, but overall is doing okay.
It's very good news for us. Together with our volunteers from the National Guard, we're able to locate Mr. Guerrero, 45. He's in good health, and we're working on getting him out.
By midday, he was flown to Naval Hospital for treatment.
It was definitely a big search effort. We followed our standard operating procedures that we do. Our platforms is the same when we respond to a rescue. We did the same rollout, and it came in and was successful again.
A search effort that went on for nearly 2 days.
Of course, we did have family members go with our rescue guys. We do take volunteers. Thankfully, the weather was good for this rescue. We didn't experience too much rain or bad conditions, so we were able to do that. I'd like to thank the family on behalf of the Guam Fire Department, the family members who supplied us with drinks and refreshments. Senator Juan Pat, she's located here for the use of her yard also, and donating refreshments as well. The Civil Defense with their mobile command post, National Guard with their Lakota helicopter. We had the Coast Guard doing assets, brokering assets for us. GPD came out with their Special Operations Division to assist us also with the search. Just a bunch of agencies and entities and people coming together, and thankfully this time we were very successful.
A successful outcome for the Guerrero family, including for Michael's godson, Warren.
What are you going to say to Nino once you see him?
Don't go back in there. Please don't go back in there, and enjoy the rest of the years together, and make the most of it.
Police have identified the woman involved in what is now a deadly auto runoff roadway crash that occurred this week Wednesday. 67-year-old Pauletta Munoz Paz was driving along Route 1 Marine Corps Drive when she crashed her vehicle into a concrete pole near the Tropical Dive Shop in Tamuning. Paz was rushed to GMH for injuries, where she was later pronounced dead. An autopsy reveals her cause of death was due to a result of multiple injuries. The case remains open and was forwarded to GPD's Highway Patrol Division for an investigation. Currently in the Philippines for the burial of his 5-year-old son, a father wants answers from the medical professionals here on Guam after his little boy's sudden passing. Carmen Terlahi has this heartbreaking story.
David Lebowski never imagined he'd be grieving the loss of his 5-year-old son Asher so soon.
But Dad, I love you so much. Seriously, I don't think he knew how sick he was.
Asher was healthy just 45 hours before. His dad describes him as a happy little boy. His death this past October was sudden and unexpected. Just 2 days before, Asher went to SDA clinic to receive a full school physical.
But kids don't die in the hospital in 22 hours and or 48 hours after having a full physical.
Then he was rushed to the Guam Memorial Hospital, where his condition took a turn for the worse. Though Asher was not admitted to the ICU, he spent the night breathing through a respiratory mask. David says medical staff and doctors didn't tell him his son was in critical condition. That next morning, Asher's heart stopped beating.
I'm left not only with my son being gone. I don't know what happened to him. I have no idea.
Asher's death certificate reads he died of a, quote, generalized viral infection, but no culture of his cells were done at GMH to determine the virus. David says the chief medical examiner, Dr. Espinola, did perform an autopsy and wondered why the cells weren't cultured. Espinola also told the distraught father he has not examined the likes of this virus.
He said, as a medical examiner, he's never seen a virus like that before. And I said, what do you mean? He said, it attacked, from my understanding of him, he said it was aggressive, it attacked every part of his body. It wasn't just in his lungs. It was everywhere, he said.
But what worries him most is that the incident report has yet to be filed. He wonders if this could be a public health concern.
How can a child die, 5 years old, that's full healthy, cleared on Monday by one doctor, he has all his immunizations, has nothing wrong with him, totally healthy, die in 48 hours, and no one cares? I said, what disease did he have? Was it communicable? Could other people in Guam catch it? Can other people, is it something that we have to be worried about on the island? Does public health know this? Does public health CDC, communicable disease, did you report this? Did anyone tell them? How do we know that other children or adults are not susceptible to getting it? Well, we don't know. I don't want some other child to die the same way.
He also raised concern with GMH officials who he claims denied him access to his child's medical records, claiming HIPAA requires 50 years to pass before releasing those records, though he argued that time frame doesn't apply to children under parental care. Overall, wishing more was done to save his son.
Not only am I grieving the loss of my son, and I'm seriously devastated. I can't begin to tell you. These people need to do their jobs.
GMH officials tell KUAM they are unable to disclose the case of Asher Lebowski, claiming, quote, federal HIPAA laws prohibit access to this information. The father's still just begging for answers. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
A recent act of Congress isn't sitting well with residents here at home. The Farm Bill bans cockfighting in the 50 states as well as the territories. Though it's not a done deal yet, locals predict the measure will force the sport to go underground. Crystal Paco reports.
It's a way of life for a lot of people.
Agana Heights Mayor Paul McDonald is a longtime cockfighter. Since he was a young boy, he's engaged in the sport. The same for Santa Rita Mayor Del Alvarez.
As far back as I can remember, maybe serious cockfighting, 15 years old.
The men are among many locals up in arms on the Farm Bill. The Guam's outgoing delegate Madeline Bordallo lobbied against the measure, which bans cockfighting in the 50 states and all territories. She couldn't vote. The House passed the bill by a vote of 369 to 47 and awaits signature by the president. The action could hurt those like Ed Charfris of the Dedido Game Club, a family business. He expects a large turnout on Friday night.
So until the president signs, I guess it's still legal to have a cockfight on this island. And I'm traumatized in a way.
Banning the sport could force it underground.
And I really think it might head into the wrong direction, like underground cockfighting. We're going to have big problems with the law to try and enforce it. Even right now, it's hard to enforce, because it's like a common way of living.
cockfighting, if you stop it in Guam, our revenues for the hospital, for the schools, and for the mayors, the community would be reduced. Just like what happened for our carnival. Those were gaming funds, and they cut us off from that already. So it reduced our gaming funds revenue to a third already. So can you imagine now the revenues that were going to be reduced because of cockfighting?
Governor-elect Lulian Guerrero has also issued a statement on the matter. Quote, despite our community's collective efforts in expressing clear opposition to such a ban at the highest levels of the federal government, we were once again ignored. It is time that we renew our efforts to build on the progress to ultimately resolve our political status, end quote. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Cheers to 80 years. It's our 80th anniversary and the gifts are on us. 80 gift certificates, 8 shopping sprees, 8 staycations, and 1 round trip flyaway for 2 to Manila. So how do you enter? Calvo's Insurance personal home and auto customers are automatically entered. Non-Calvo's customers may enter by receiving a qualified quote. It's our way of saying thank you for trusting us for the past 80 years. For more details, visit calvos.com/giveaway or call 472-6816. Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years.
Explore your world wherever you are. Explore your world, home's never too far. Explore your world, no matter how far, wherever you are.
This year is rapidly coming to an end, and the big finish is now on at Cars Plus and Mighty. Get big year-end deals on a big selection of new Ram trucks with savings up to $10,500. Or save up to $5,500 on a new Chrysler Pacifica. How about a new Jeep Compass? Save up to $5,000. With financing as low as 1.99%. Plus, receive a Cars Plus Shell Value Card with every vehicle purchase. The big finish means big savings right now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from Chuck E. Cheese's Guam, Ruby Tuesday, and King's Restaurants. Receive special offers with every purchase for extra holiday happiness. See stores for details and have fun this season from all of us at the GFS Group.
Welcome back. Governor-elect Lulian Guerrero is in the nation's capital. She wrapped up her meeting with President Donald Trump, VP Mike Pence, and several cabinet secretaries, as well as senior advisors in the White House. The governor-elect joined recently elected governors from across the nation in a face-to-face meeting with Trump to discuss shared priorities between the White House, the states, as well as U.S. territories like Guam.
Good afternoon. I'm Lulian Guerrero from Guam, where America's day begins. My passion is in healthcare. I'm a nurse by profession, a senator for 10 years, and then ran the only locally owned and locally chartered Bank of Guam, for 12 years. And now Governor-elect of Guam, and look forward to working very closely with this administration. And I ask you, President Trump, to please do not forget Guam out there. We're a tiny island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, but I think we're the first line of national defense for our country.
Good. Thank you very much.
During the meeting, Governor-elect Lulian Guerrero expressed the need to address priority issues for Guam, such as the skilled labor shortage, Medicaid reimbursements, the application of the Earned Income Tax Credit Program as an unfunded federal mandate, national defense, job creation, and economic growth. do not pass. That's the message from the Guam Economic Development Authority to the legislature on Bill 363. The controversial measure authored by Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. is a qualifying certificate that has been amended to give Cortec a tax-free ride for at least 2 decades. Although GITA board had recommended a 75% rebate on corporate income taxes for Cortec's captive insurance company, Senator Frank Uggan Jr.'s amendments to the bill instead gave Cortec a 100% rebate on its taxes for 20 years. In a letter to Acting Speaker Teresa Lahi, GITA Administrator Jay Rojas said Guam QC law prohibits any corporate income tax rebate above 75% for Subchapter X corporations, a category Rojas said Cortec's captive insurance company falls under. Rojas also said another amendment proffered by Rodriguez that gives Cortec a 100% waiver on BPT for 20 years was not in line with GovGuam's fiscal policy. Rojas says the legislature should be held to the same reality, saying the governor cannot change terms of QCs, which means the legislature shouldn't be able to either. The letter comes as senators have debated a number of special interest bills in the waning weeks of the 34th Guam legislature's term. Senators back in session Monday morning. Keeping tabs on a nationwide chain of emailed bomb threats, the Office of Guam Homeland Security and Civil Defense, along with the Mariana Regional Fusion Center, monitoring and remain vigilant for bomb threats that are going viral in the mainland. CBS News sources say the threats are related to an email which demands a $20,000 Bitcoin payment. The FBI is aware of the alleged threats and encourages the public to stay alert as well. Guam Homeland officials say there has been no credible threat to the island. Residents are advised that if you do receive an email, you should contact local enforcement immediately. 276 Tritons will turn their tassels and get their degrees this weekend during the University of Guam's commencement ceremony. Human rights lawyer Julian Uggan will deliver the commencement address. It all goes down this Sunday at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse starting at 2 in the afternoon. Congratulations to all the graduates. Sports is coming up next, but first, a look at your island weather.
Join the thousands who switched to GTA's handset payment option.
Now I can get the freshest new phone at any time.
My payments are based on my finances.
No more contracts for me. It's time to get the phone I want when I want it.
With HBO, I get to choose.
Call or visit GTA today to learn more about HBO, the most customizable phone plan on island, only at GTA.
Shell's Million Miles giveaway is back, and we're giving 100,000 United Mileage Plus miles to 10 lucky winners. So how do you make your getaway? Just use your Lucky 7 card when you fuel up with 7 gallons or more, and you're automatically entered to win. Fuel up at your nearest Shell station today and start planning your new adventure. No purchase necessary. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
I know a thing or two about chicken, and I love these new honey barbecue glazed tenders. Maybe because they're sweet, like me. He's just gonna love this.
Adorbs.
Or maybe because they're spicy, like me.
Thank you for the sweater.
You're welcome.
Introducing McDonald's Sweet and Spicy Honey Barbecue Glazed Tenders. Made with all white meat chicken, hand-tossed and glazed to order. They're the perfect combination of sweet and spicy, just like Grandma.
Has it started?
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J. All right, sports tonight. We're talking about a special event that is coming up this weekend. We've got Cam, Bill, and Frank joining us on the show. Cam, you are with Matson. So tell us about your involvement, not only as the corporation Matson getting involved with the Special Olympics, but you personally.
Okay, let's start off with Matson first. Matson, I worked for Matson over 12 years. Right now, Matson's been a partner for Special Olympics for over 20 years. This year we decided to support this event a little bit more, we're doing a $3,000 sponsorship for equipment.
Fantastic.
And we're also sponsoring the jerseys for each team.
Oh, cool.
In the Special Olympics side, as a board member, I'm responsible for finding sponsors for food and drinks. Every event, we always provide food and drinks for the athletes, the volunteers, the coaches, and the supporters. This year, we have a bunch of supporters that helped us out this year, if I can name them. We had Triple J 5-Star, International Distributors, Pacific Grocers, Lu & Fung, the Knights of Columbus, Nico Hotel, Frontier, Fastenal Supply, mentioned Ambrose, Luhan Towing and Auto. That's a first-time supporter this year. Yeah, Sunny Plastics. The community gets really involved with Special Olympics, especially each quarter.
Yeah, they really do. And Bill, of course, you're with the Pony Softball Champions League. Did I get that right?
Yes.
You guys teamed up. Obviously, you've been around the sport, fast pitch or softball, for years and years. Tell us about your involvement.
Well, Guam Amateur Baseball was looking for a group to hook up with to help promote baseball in our organization. So we picked Pony Baseball, which I've worked for many years. And then we also know that Pony Baseball has a Champions League, which is a league set up for athletes with disabilities. And of course, on Guam, there's a long history of Guam Special Olympics, involved in sports, trying to provide activities for their athletes. So we hooked up with Special Olympics Guam to start the Champions League. So the Champions League this is really our first year of actually having a competitive league with 6 teams. We started last year with training and having some activities with the Special Olympic athletes. And so Guam Pony Softball provides the on-field training, helping set up the games and the leagues and the use of the equipment and what skills should be taught, and sort of controls the on-field part of the activity. And Special Olympics Guam, is the overall organizer, handling many of the things like Cam just said.
Yeah, you guys help provide the umpires that Frank yells at
so
when they get the call
we met with Frank a couple years ago and showed him our program, and he showed us his program, and the mission is parallel.
Yeah, it's a
parallel mission. So
it really is.
We're lucky to be partners with Guam Special Olympics.
Yeah, so everyone you mentioned and who Cam mentioned has all come together, Frank, for this big softball event that's happening this weekend. Tell us about it.
It is. This weekend we're having the championship games. We have 2 divisions right now. We have the youth division, and we also have the adult division. Youth division primarily consists of middle-aged school kids and elementary school children. The adult leagues are high school and beyond. So we start at the Paseo this weekend, actually tomorrow. Opening ceremony begins at 9 o'clock. First game would be the Youth Division Championship, and that would start at 10. It ends at 11:30, and then we would have the third and fourth placing playoff for the third and fourth place team, and that would start at noon, ends at 1:30. And then we would go on to the adult championship, and that would start at 2 o'clock. It ends at 3:30, and then at roughly about 3:45 is when we go into the awards.
Best bet is to show up for the opening ceremony and
Absolutely.
just stay and watch the whole
and
day.
Don't worry about the food. We're providing all the hot dogs you can eat, hamburgers. We'll have